Hi, this is ET. In early 2021, this channel ran a video regarding biological males competing against females, even at the Olympic Games. It was a prediction. Now, ET took heat for that video, some complaining that, well, it would never happen. Others upset because it appeared to attack trans people. Now, in mid-2024, the world is witnessing at the Paris Olympics biological males competing against biological females, and that controversy regarding this has overshadowed even the competition. So, E.T. was correct in his 2021 prediction, and you can watch it now. Here it is.
Hi, this is E.T. And this here is Laurel, née Dick Hubbard, born the son of a former mayor of Auckland City in New Zealand. Back in 1998, Dick Hubbard set a New Zealand junior weightlifting record, and in 2012 got himself appointed executive officer of New Zealand's Olympic Weightlifting Committee. But about that same time, he transitioned to female. About Hubbard more later. This person here you ought to know, Caitlyn, née Bruce Jenner. In 1976, Jenner took the gold and set a world record in the Olympic decathlon. That earned him the title world's greatest athlete. But in 2015, Jenner came out as transgender or transsexual, and a year and a half or so later underwent the requisite surgery. This here is Janai Marie Kruczelisk. But to those following powerlifting news, this person was, maybe still is, Matt Kroc. One strong guy. Back in 2009 or 10, he set a world record lifting as a male in the 220-pound class of something like 2,550 pounds in the squat, deadlift, and bench press, and that's a lot of weight. He was a Marine in the early 90s, providing security for President Bill Clinton. In the early 2000s, he graduated college with a BS, became a registered pharmacist, and then about a decade or so later, in 2015, came out as transgender or gender fluid. There are many more individuals from many nations representing many sports who have already or will soon come out as female and demand the right to compete as such. Jenner, approaching age 70, doesn't have anything to prove and has so far shown no interest in competing again. But you have to wonder, how well would Caitlyn Jenner do competing even at age 70 in track and field events against biological women? Hubbard and Kruczelisk, yeah, they have shown interest to compete against females. Hubbard fared well, okay, performing the Olympic-style lifts in New Zealand as a man, but he did more than okay as she, winning 2 gold and 1 silver medals. That was in the Samoan Games about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Now, Hubbard may be able to compete next year at the Tokyo Olympics, where he or she has a good chance of winning the gold. Now, that's going to pose a big problem for the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, because back in 2015, they hastily put out guidelines that said, in essence, that a transgender athlete could compete as a woman. Some scientists have said you cannot compare a man, somebody who's a biological male, against somebody who's a biological female. And many have recommended that the IOC ditch this binary approach and introduce a new category called transgender. That theme was echoed by the Prime Minister of Samoa, who was really upset that Samoan females lost to Hubbard in the weightlifting meet. He said, yes, set up a new category called transgender. All right, let's get to the point. Can you and I, putting personal biases aside, say honestly that this person, known to many of us as Matt Kroc, powerlifter, world record holder as a male, can we honestly say that this person, who in 2017, after 18 months on estrogen, nonetheless was able to pull up in a deadlift 605 pounds, this man or woman who is a registered pharmacist and understands how to administer performance-enhancing drugs, can you and I honestly say that this individual has no advantage whatsoever over those born female? If those born male who have transitioned are allowed to compete against female athletes, this is what will happen. In a few years, maybe a decade or so, there will be few, if any, biological females competing, let alone winning, athletic events that require strength and power, what else? Speed, large muscle dexterity. And it's not simply men who are making this point. Do you remember Martina Navratilova, tennis legend? Navratilova said recently that to allow a biological male who has transitioned or simply is thinking of himself as female, to allow this person to compete against women is insane and it is cheating. Would we all not be better off if we put aside our ideology, that ideology that says, I wish it were so, and we replace all that with, I recognize that the world is this way. Once we do that, we can come up with a solution. And one possible solution would be a new competitive category called transsexual or transgender.
One more thing, that weightlifter Laurel Hubbard, who won at the Tokyo Games, did not qualify for the Olympics 2024.